for the first form, we're talking about our stance, okay? If the knees are too locked, the hips are locked in, we can't move, right? Okay? So you want to have your toes in, but you don't want to have it too locked, because otherwise there's no mobility. You still want to be able to move your hip, right? Just the same as in a fighting stance. My leg is in, it's not here, it's too loose, but it's not like this, right? It's not twisted and locked, so I can't move. So I also feel there's a natural amount of movement, and I get a natural amount of torsion in the joints, right? The joint, like the knee joint is a hinge joint, right? But the hinge joint also has some natural movement, okay? It needs to have some movement to disperse pressure. Too much is obviously too bad, right? Okay, because you'll tear it, right? But you need to have a little bit of movement in that knee, right? Okay? So here, if we're in contact, and I'm not going to step through here, I just sink my weight. So it's a sink, press, rise, right? Sink, press, rise, just to get a little connection. If I just rise, I lose connection. Right? I need to get into his structure, so I need to penetrate into him, right? So I'm pressing in. Once I've had that, then I can rise. So it's like a spear. I spear him, and then I can lift him, okay? So sink, press, rise. If he moves back a little bit, I can just shuffle. I can shuffle, and shuffle, right? Okay? So some people think, wow, that's kind of crazy looking forward. But if we're in a cage situation, I'm hitting him on the wall, I'll drive into my hips. We're parallel. See, the stance is parallel. I open my foot to allow me to shuffle, and open my foot to allow me to step so I can penetrate. Okay? So the difference here, if I don't need to step too far, I can just shuffle. If I need to step through, I open my foot, that's jump kill mark. Hip is square, right? Then I still have the structural integrity of my frame. I can sink, press, rise. I can step through. I can eject it, right? If I turn my foot too far, my hip too far out, when I try to drive, I've got no power, right? No power driving forward. So I need to load my weight. So here, sink, right? Sink, press, right? Sink, press, rise. Open my jump kill mark, right? Sink, circle step. Then book, sorry. And then I can eject, right? Okay? If he pushes towards me, I redirect him around me. I don't try to go around him. He's going to chase my center, right? Okay, so when we engage, he drives, I delink him around me. Right now I'm in a position where I have side control, right? So this is like a strong spinning top, really powerful. And things hit the top and they just spin off it, right? They spin off the top. Anything comes into me, it spins off the top, right? So the spinning top mentality, right? So that's why in Chisa you bounce someone around you, because you're always controlling your center, right? When you've got more layers of skill, you're taking the timing and the balance off, so then he's light. Then I can attack him, right? So that's my reaction force. I take the pressure to the ground and bounce off the ground. He pushes, the action force is when I release it. So I'm trying to create tension. If Larry delinks now as he pushes me, I can't push him, right? So this is why it's very hard to see the skill against someone good, because here, every time we push each other, we're delinking the skill. Doesn't mean we're just doing this with our shoulders, we're still controlling things. I'm trying to find his center of gravity. Right? It's very hard to find. So I need to shock him, so that's why we have strikes. I shock him to get him tense, and then all of a sudden, I build back that tension. Right? So I need tension in his body. If there's no tension in his body, I can't take control of his joints. Right? So we're rolling here, if he delinks, every time I push, yeah, see, there's nothing to control, right? Very hard to control anything, right? So I shock him, make him tense, or I butt him with a second form, and that gives me my position. Right? So that's why we need the hacking with the second form, right? Because that will allow me just to hack into his structure, into his spine, to make him tense, right? Often you see people do internal demonstrations and the person's flying around, it's because they're tense. If they're not tense, you can't move them, right? That's why you don't see a lot of fighters getting thrown around, because no one's that tense, right? No one comes to the fight like this, and he pushes me, and then, you see the ones where they get pushed, and he pushes me and they go across the room, right? Who does that, right? If you push me, even if I was tense, you push me, I'll do this, right? Okay, but every exaggeration, they're like, whoa, right? Okay, so let's just stay tense. You push me, because I'm delinking, and he's being tense. Now, if he's not tense, there's nothing there to do. We keep dispersing each other. So relax here. Yeah, so now look, I can't push him. There's nothing to push. But for the trained eye, you'll see what he's doing. He's loading his weight in his joints, he's controlling things. He's controlling the amount of tension, right? So that makes it more springy. It's much harder for me to control him, okay? That's the high level skill, right? So the structural frame that we're working on is to make sure the frame is strong so we can afford to soften at the right time. If you soften at the wrong time, you're just collapsing. If you soften at the right time, I can use it to take advantage. Okay? So softening your frame at the right time is very important. Softening at the wrong time, you're just yielding too much, right? So yielding doesn't mean you're passive. You push towards me, I yield pressure. It doesn't mean passive, right? Okay? Some people, when they're yielding too much, they get too big, but then he can strike. So always remember, we're a striking system, right? So every time I move, I'm ready to strike and hit. I want to make sure my line of attack is there, right? So I don't want to be doing stuff by going too big and too wide and leave myself open all the time. Think about the focus. The focus of Wing Chun is we're looking to find where's the strike. Okay, so while we're doing all that, keep the strike in mind, right? Okay?